Hello YouTube, I know I haven't posted any updates whatsoever for like 4 months and I'm sorry for that. I wish I could say I was busy, but that's only partially true. So in this video, I'll try to cover a few things. Number 1, my new suspension setup. Number 2, my current feelings about the Yonaka catback exhaust. And number 3, a bit about my daily life and why installations or updates will be slow. So back in October, I bought Tein Street Basis coilovers for around $500. Originally, I was planning to run Tokiko Blues with iBox springs, but one of my dad's buddies convinced me to go with coilovers. So after I picked them up, I planned to install them that same weekend, and this is where things got a bit complicated. I started with the front shock towers and had no issue getting them on, but when it came to installing the rears, we discovered that the lower control arms on my car were not stock and that the new shock towers wouldn't fit. So at this point, I had no choice but to hold off on installing them until I got new control arms. Now, in retrospect, it probably would have been easier to look for a decent aftermarket set of lower control arms, but I figured this was a good opportunity to go visit a junkyard for the first time and see if I could find anything cool. It was a pretty cool experience, and my brother helped me pull a decent set of control arms off of a Del Sol, but I didn't end up buying them because they were around $65 and I thought I'd have better luck finding better ones on eBay, but I didn't. Later that same day, I checked eBay and found a pair of control arms that looked like they were in decent condition for $50, so I bought them and tried to install them a week later when they arrived. Turns out the bushings were cut or something because there was actually a huge gap between them and the shock towers that I didn't notice at first. So because of this, I ended up buying polyurethane energy suspension shock bushings for $20 and rear shock mount bushings for another $20. So overall, I ended up spending $90 that I didn't expect to have to spend. As I'm making this video now, I also found out that I could have bought the black bushings instead of the red ones, which would have looked more natural, but it all functions the same, so I guess it's fine. So all of this took place over the course of 2 months, in part because of shipping, but also because of unexpected costs. It wasn't until around January that I actually got the entire suspension installed. I know that this is not ideal because that puts uneven wear on the front shock towers versus the rear shocks, but that's just the way things happened. As far as suspension goes, the only thing I still need to do is get a wheel alignment to even out future tire wear and maybe get a strut bar down the line. On a side note, I believe these are Integra Type R rear lower control arms, so if anybody wants them, I'd be willing to part with them for say $40. So a long time ago, I said I would make a Yonaka catback exhaust review. I've only had the exhaust for about 5 months, so it feels too early to make a full review in terms of its longevity, but there are some things that I noticed about it right away. The first observation has to do with the noise level. Once again, I just want to note that this car was unusually noisy to begin with, but after installing this catback, I think it got louder. When I say that the car is loud, I don't mean wake up your neighbors in the morning loud, but I do refrain from exceeding about 3,000 RPMs whenever I'm around cop cars. The main issue that I have is that the muffler rubs against my bumper. This model is supposed to fit 92 to 2000 Honda Civic coupes and sedans, so I'm not sure what that's about, but it looks like if I find a way to bend the metal hangers a certain way, I can fix it. Aside from looking kind of off, I also noticed that this placement issue causes the muffler to vibrate against the bumper at idle when I have at least 2 passengers, making some unpleasant noises. But I rarely have people in the car, so this doesn't occur too often, and ultimately I'm pretty happy about this product. I still plan to make an in-depth review of this exhaust. I'm just scared of putting a GoPro on the back of my car because I feel like it would fall off. In all honesty, that video probably won't go up for a while, but when it does, I'll try to make it much cleaner and organized than my other videos. So that's basically where I'm at with the car. I know it feels like slow progress, but bear with me for a moment. When I got this car last summer, I was only 17, fresh out of high school, just started working, bagging groceries for minimum wage. Then in August, I started my first semester of college at CSUN, or California State University Northridge for those not around here. Because of this, I wasn't making very much money, and of course, not all of it could go toward my car. Honestly, I've been doing a tremendously terrible job at saving money, and restoring this car hasn't been helping. As of right now, I'm in my second semester taking 16 units and not working, which means no income, which means no car parts. I am looking for a job, and I'll get one soon, I hope, but as of right now, I don't see myself buying any new car parts. Once I do get another job, however, I'll be setting myself a strict budget that I will not break this time. Unfortunately, this means that the upgrades will continue to come slowly, but they will come, I promise. But anyway, until next time, thanks for watching.